Is filmmaking one of the most dangerous professions in the world? Filmmaking is a demanding and challenging job, as many movies feature scenes that are extremely dangerous. That's why most actors have stunt doubles, trained professionals who step in for them during risky scenes. These stunt performers are like invisible heroes. Unfortunately, throughout the years of filmmaking, there have been many instances where things went wrong, unexpected complications, accidents, and, in the worst cases, devastating tragedies. Some of these incidents have even led to fatal outcomes. Today, we'll take a look at some of the most tragic accidents that occurred during film productions. Even though modern technology allows for the use of CGI to recreate many dangerous moments, and specialized teams work tirelessly to ensure the highest level of safety during practical effects, tragedies still happen, even in recent years. A quick disclaimer before we start. Every scene shown in this video or discussed here was performed by trained professionals. Despite all precautions, complications can still arise. Under no circumstances should you attempt any of this at home. The Dark Knight. The production of one of the greatest comic book films in history was not without its tragedies. Stuntman Conway Wycliffe, who had previously worked on Batman Begins, returned for The Dark Knight, but sadly, it was his final film. During the filming of a Batmobile crash scene, Wycliffe was leaning out of a vehicle, filming a car driving parallel to his. Unfortunately, the driver lost control and crashed into a tree. Conway did not survive the accident. Tragedy struck again before the film's release, and many of you likely already know about it. Actor Heath Ledger, who played the Joker, was found dead approximately 6 months before the movie premiered. His death was ruled an accidental overdose of prescription sleeping pills. The world mourned the loss of an immensely talented actor, but Conway's memory should not be forgotten either. The Crow, one of the most infamous tragedies in the film industry, occurred during the 1993 filming of the cult classic The Crow. Near the end of production, a pivotal scene was being filmed in which Brandon Lee, playing the protagonist Eric Draven, was supposed to be attacked by a gang and shot. In the movie, Eric survives thanks to supernatural forces, but in real life, a terrible mistake happened. A blank round was supposed to be used, but due to an error, the bullet was not actually blank. Brandon Lee was shot, and despite hours of surgery, he succumbed to his injuries. The remaining scenes were completed using a body double and special effects. Resident Evil. The final chapter. Many of you are likely familiar with the Resident Evil video game franchise, which has inspired several film adaptations. However, the production of Resident Evil. The final chapter saw multiple tragic accidents. In 2015, during filming in South Africa, stuntwoman Olivia Jackson, who doubled for lead actress Mila Jovovich, was involved in a severe motorcycle accident. She suffered critical injuries, was placed in a medically induced coma, and ultimately lost one of her arms. She later sued the production company for inadequate safety measures and won the case. Sadly, this incident marked the end of her stunt career, but that wasn't the only tragedy. Crew member Ricardo Cornelius suffered an even worse fate. A Hummer overturned on him during filming, and he did not survive his injuries. Rust. The Rust film set accident happened quite recently, in 2021, and made headlines worldwide, including in the Czech Republic. Actor Alec Baldwin was rehearsing a scene in which he was supposed to point a gun at the camera. The weapon was meant to be a prop loaded with blanks, but something went terribly wrong. 2 people behind the camera were shot, director Joel Souza, who was injured in the shoulder but survived, and cinematographer Helena Hutchins, who was fatally wounded in the chest. Filming was halted and Baldwin faced potential legal consequences, with a possible prison sentence of up to 6.5 years. However, he was later cleared of all charges. The film is now expected to be released in 2024. Top Gun. The 1986 film Top Gun, starring Tom Cruise at the start of his action movie career, became a cinematic classic. Decades later, its sequel, Top Gun: Maverick, was released and became another major hit. However, not everyone who worked on the original movie lived to see its success. Veteran stunt pilot Art Scholl was filming an aerial sequence in 1985 when something went horribly wrong. He radioed that he was in trouble, and moments later, he and his plane crashed into the Pacific Ocean. His body and aircraft were never recovered, leaving the true cause of the accident a mystery to this day. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Part 1. In 2009, during the filming of the seventh Harry Potter film, a serious accident left stuntman David Holmes, who had doubled for Daniel Radcliffe since Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, with life-changing injuries. The accident occurred during rehearsals for a scene in which Harry is attacked by Nagini and thrown through a wall. During the stunt, Holmes was violently propelled by a cable and slammed into a wall, breaking his neck. He survived but immediately told the crew that he couldn't feel his legs. Unfortunately, his injuries were so severe that he was left paralyzed. Initially, he could move both his arms, neck, and head, but over time, complications arose and now he can only move one arm. He lives with the constant fear that his paralysis may worsen. Despite everything, David has remained positive. He never gave up and even co-founded his own production company, Triple Production, in 2013. Over the years, he became close friends with Daniel Radcliffe, and in 2023, HBO Max released a documentary about his story titled The Boy Who Lived. Deadpool 2 Tragedy. Also struck during the production of Deadpool 2 in 2017. This time, it was the worst possible outcome. Joy Harris, a stuntwoman for actress Zazie Beetz, who played Domino, died while performing a motorcycle stunt in Vancouver. Despite multiple practice runs, something went wrong during the actual take. Joy lost control, hit a curb, was thrown from the bike, and crashed into Rogers Tower. Shockingly, she wasn't wearing a helmet because her character in the film didn't wear one. Reportedly, there wasn't enough time to provide hidden protective gear under her costume. Many experienced stunt professionals questioned why Joy, who was relatively new to stunt work, was chosen over someone with more experience for such a difficult scene. There was allegedly a more qualified stunt performer available at the time. Deadpool 2 was dedicated to Joy Harris's memory. Final thoughts. I didn't write an ending for this video because I honestly couldn't figure out how to close it. Asking for likes and subscriptions didn't feel appropriate for a topic like this. So instead, I'll just say, please take care of yourselves, stay safe, and I hope to see you again next time. Take care. Bye.